Hi guys, I'm here with a project share and a short tutorial. I made some ornaments. This is the first one. These are Tilda ornaments, and they're a little shadow box. And it has a little charm. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I've got the camera set up with a long arm, and this is the first time I've used it to record, so let me know how it goes. Sorry for the glare. So I started out with these. These are little paper mache boxes. I got these for 50 cents a piece at Joann's. They're normally $1, but that week paper mache was on sale, so I bought a lot of them. And I'm just using the lid. So this is still another opportunity for something else, which I will show you guys at another time because I have an idea for this as well. Just cut the paper, I traced the outside edge. It's not exact, and that's okay because it's going to be covered up. And I used, this is not the right bottle, but I used Aleene's Collage Podge. I like this for this application, and especially for the glitter. I also used some Distress glitter, clear rock candy. And so we're going to add the glitter to this one. Try to stay in camera frame. This is a completely different setup for me, guys, so please bear with me. So you're just going to go over the whole thing. It doesn't have to be smooth or perfect or anything on this particular part because it's kind of all going to be covered up. And I also do the sides because you want some glitter there too. Dab it a couple times and there you go. So now this gets to dry. Okay, so the paint colors I used for the green is Stone Wedge Green. So it's that one by Ceramic Co. It's a really nice sagey green, and it goes really well with the papers, as you can see. You can even lighten it a little bit if you want to, but I think it's a pretty good match. And then I used light ivory. So your next step would be to add your stuff. You've got your piece of paper glittered in there. This is actually a poem inside this one. And then you're going to use some kind of shaggy trim. Now this is available at Joann's, and it's over with glitters and the pipe cleaners and that kind of stuff. It comes on a little flat card. This is great. I love it, and it's really cheap. These other ones that I've used, like the gold on this one, these I purchased off Etsy. They're Bethany Low trims. You can find some different ones. Clip that long one off. You can find some different ones on Etsy too, but let me show you the difference, guys. Okay, this is like regular, what you can find available, much cheaper. See, it's not as long, but it's still wired. So it's, you know, very pliable. This is not wired, so it takes a little longer to glue, and you have to use your hot glue for this particular one. And these, some of them are wired and some of them aren't. I mean, it's just kind of, you know, the Bethany Low ones. Now this one isn't wired, but it's got a lot more piggy hair. It's still in there. It's got a lot more fluff to it, I think. So, and to me this one is a little more aged. The other thing that I used for the little pink one with the kitty cat is this crepe paper trim. I put the poem in, which I'll read the poem to you. It's called Freshly Fallen Snow. Once upon a Christmas, a snowman I did see. He sparkled white as diamonds and seemed to smile at me. I too should have the smile that's on the snowman's face, for God has taken all my sins and cleansed me by his grace. He sent my precious Savior, born so long ago, who paid my debt and made me clean, as fresh as fallen snow. And so I've done a couple of these with that poem in it. And I inked this one and then put the really light silver, which this one's a lot thinner than the other ones. It's like the white one kind of as far as thin. And then I used these little cross stickers that I got, sorry for the glare guys, at Easter time. Had them in the, the bling box, so decided to pull them out and use one. And so that would be, you glue this in with hot glue after you've let your glitter and stuff dry. And then we're going to do the charms. So I am going to, actually I think I'm going to attach the charm first. Okay guys, so what I did is I put some beads on a wire and I made a loop down at the bottom. And I put my charm on and then inside I put a bead, and I used a little tacky glue on this too to kind of hold it together till I could tighten the wire, cut off the wire, and then just used my pliers and curled a loop. Or you don't really want to see it, which is why I did it this way. And then that's very secure. Okay, so now to create your glass, I guess you would say, to your shadow box. And so what you can use is recycled packaging. Also found at Staples this. This is called Fellows, and it's binding covers, and they're clear, and it's mid-weight. And sorry for the glare, guys. It's horrible. It's a 8.5 by 11. There's 25 of them, and I think it was roughly $10, which is pretty pricey, but you get a lot. I mean, you could do hundreds of these little things with that. I prefer to use the recycling package because I like to recycle. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to trace your shape, in this case it's a star, onto your acetate. And you want it, a little bit bigger because you want it to sit on these edges. Now don't worry if it's too big because we're going to trim that down. Glue this on, and the glue that I'm using for this, which I did it after doing a couple, I found that this was the best glue. This is the 3-in-1 glue. This is Beacons. This is perfect. It's fast grab, and it really holds these little pieces of acetate and whatever, glue boogers you have. You can just, let them tack up a little bit and pull them right off. So it's awesome. Okay, some Mercury Glass Stickles does the stars. Now, this is a Tilda Santa, but the Tilda Santas are huge. I didn't even tell you guys what papers I'm using. Boy, I'm on the ball today. Okay, so the first one is Happiness is Homemade. Sweet Christmas. That's this one here. This is the little Santa. As you can see, he's pretty big, right? And you got this little Santa. I took him and shrunk him down and put him on cardstock. That's how I got him to fit. Okay, so that one lines up. Okay, so now we can glue. Alright, you guys are probably laughing your butts off. Okay, well, that's the way it goes, right? Okay, so you're just going to put a fine line of this glue, if it's going to cooperate. This does have strings, so you do have to be careful with that. Make sure the acetate is clean. Well, this is too big for the box actually, but that's okay because we're gonna trim it. And then what I do is I take my Martha Stewart tool here and I kind of press it down. And then I turn it over and press it down, kind of force that glue out. And then you can take a tool and clean up the extra glue that you may have. Now I didn't put any charms in this one, and I still can, even though I put the lid on. Because you just can't do it the same way as you did the other one. You just can't wire it in. You can still use wire and beads. You just glue it in. Just put a good amount of glue in there and it'll hide right in and it'll be fine. Because that's how I did the second one. Okay, so now we're just going to take our... This is my favorite craft knife, by the way. It's the Prima. Love it because the lid don't come off. I don't stab myself. I'm just going to take it. Sorry. This is going to be a little difficult for me to see, but I'll do the best I can. You might see the top of my head. You're just going to take it and trim it. Just like that. And you get some of the glue off when you do this too. So that's how you trim it. So here is your box. It's been painted. Your image is inside. It's been glittered. You have your tinsel trim around the inside edge. I added some little star stickers. These are metal stars I got from Michael's. I don't know if you can see that little star there. And I glued those in. Okay, so all fixed. Excuse me. So, and your lid's on and it's been trimmed. Okay? So now we're going to do the fun part. We're going to add the metal. Now this is the... I have a glare. This is the Ranger's foil tape. It's the 6.5 by 12 sheets. Hold it this way so it's not so bad, hopefully, with a glare. You're gonna punch it with a punch. Where's my punch? I use this one by Fiskars. It's just a little tiny scallop edge there. You could use whichever one you want. Just remember that try to keep it a solid image, such as, you know, like, you know, a scallop or circles or something. Because if you have really intricate cuts in through here, it is a pain in the patootie. So, trust me, I tried. So, yeah, just keep it a solid punch. You can use whatever shape you want, obviously. And then you're going to run it through an embossing folder. I cut my strips at a 1/2 inch after I punched them. Just makes it easier. Now you can see there's a couple little blips there on this one where the top of the folder smushed down the embossing. No worries. I really don't worry about it because it's going to be on one of your edges. Now for this first Tilda one that I made, this is the same foil. It's just alcohol inked. I used the gold mixative, and then I hit it with a little Adirondack espresso to age it a little bit. And so when you do it gold, this is what it looks like. Like that. The embossing folder I'm using is called Textile Texture. It's a Provo Craft cuddle bug. And it's just a really pretty damask print. And I don't think it's showing up on camera very well. I was having some difficulty, guys, so because I haven't done this shape in particular before, so I decided to go ahead and just cut it at each point on this particular one, because it's hard to, I was getting too much of a edge on it, too many cuts, and it was starting to bulk up on the corners. And I didn't like that, so I decided to do it this way instead. And you'll find that some of your shapes you have to actually do that with. To me, it's not that big of a deal. It's not perfect, but it's handmade. And that's kind of how I look at it. So, but you definitely want 2 pieces for pretty much all the shapes. Oh, that one might be a little too high. And try to get them as even as possible. Now, obviously, I didn't do that, but I did the best I could. So, to me, that's all that matters. Nothing in life is perfect, and I've learned to kind of deal with it. Especially art. Sometimes the greatest projects are mistakes. Sorry, off camera. I need the arm to come this way just a little bit, and then it would be perfect. Okay, and then we're just going to take a little piece, and we're going to piece that. We get a little blip there. Trim that one off. Stuff is pretty forgiving. So you're cool for the most part. Okay, so that's how it looks like that. Kind of has a look of being soldered, which is where I was going with this when I first created it. And I got to give credit to Amador. Amador had created this really cool box either earlier this year or last year. I can't remember which one. I'll put a link to his channel. And it got me thinking that, you know, that could be, it inspired me to, you know, think about something like this. And this is I don't even know if this is available anymore. This particular one. This is a Bethany Low trim, and it's wired, and it's silver and gold. Well, let's get gluing. It would help if I was in frame, right? That's because the camera is just a little bit forward than where I'm used to working. So I got to get used to that. And then just press this in. Now this one's wired, so it's going to make it a lot easier. We have a couple of stray long pieces, so we'll just trim them up a little bit. Okay. And I'm gluing right over the edge of that tape. Kind of helps hold it down. I mean, it's pretty sticky, but just a little extra security on that tape. And it makes the edge of this box look nice. I know this is kind of a whacked up tutorial, but I thank anybody who stuck with me. Now see, that little edge of that foil is up, so I'm just going to take my embossing folder here, my bone folder, and smash it down. My husband says I'm very animated today. Possibly. Wouldn't be the first time, won't be the last. If you knew my family, then you would understand why. Okay, yes, I go in front of the charm there. So we're going to get to this point, and we're just going to cut it off with a pair of wire cutters, because this one has wire. And then you can just fluff it up a little bit. Like that. Maybe you could even take one of your kids' drawings, shrink it down, and put it in an ornament. And then your child would have it forever. So it's just some really cool ideas that you could do with this, or even old family photos. I mean, these are cheap. And, you could do pretty much anything. Anything you can copy and shrink down on your printer, you can put in one of these box lids. And for $1, I mean, come on. And recycled packaging? Yeah. So the most expensive thing would be your trim, and you could use lace, you could use the crepe paper, you can use pretty much anything. So the foil tape in your little boxes are really all that you would need. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much again for sticking around. And if you have any questions, be sure to leave me a comment below. Happy holidays, everybody, and make a happy memory. Thanks for watching. Bye.